There are fighters who control a fight by slowing it down, and then there are fighters who control it by constantly changing it. Oleksandr Usyk is one of them. At first glance, it looks like movement, footwork, angles, activity. But if you watch closely, it's not just movement, it's control.
The reigning heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
When you first watch Usyk, it can feel chaotic. He's always moving, always adjusting, always giving you a different look. But that chaos is deceptive, because underneath it, everything is structured. He's not moving to escape, he's moving to position.
You see Usyk, his brain forever calculating, finding his angles, having much success this round.
This is where it starts. Usyk doesn't rush exchanges, he builds them. Before he throws, he adjusts his feet. Small steps, subtle angles, nothing dramatic. But the small adjustments change everything, because now he's not where you expect him to be. And when that happens, your reactions start to break down.
He'll get knockouts and stoppages because of how accurate of a puncher he is, but his game is craft.
Most fighters draw reactions with punches. Usyk does it with movement. A step to the left, and suddenly the opponent resets. A slight angle, and the jab doesn't land the same. He's constantly asking, what happens if I stand here instead? And every time the opponent reacts, he learns something.
He's good at distance and control, and he's in and out with the feet. Very rarely do you see Oleksandr Usyk on the ropes or into a corner. Well schooled, keeps the movement circular.
This is where Usyk becomes difficult. He doesn't fight at a fixed pace. Sometimes he's active, sometimes he pauses, sometimes he resets completely. There's no rhythm to follow, and without rhythm, it's hard to anticipate. That's control. Usyk's jab isn't heavy. It's not meant to dominate. It's here to disrupt, measure, reset. And he uses it to break rhythm, interrupt timing, force reactions. And once the opponent starts reacting, he builds from there.
The jab scoring for Usyk. According to Derek Hooker's scorecard, Anthony Joshua's got to win these final 2 rounds.
One of the most important parts of Usyk's style is how he enters range. He rarely comes straight in. He steps in at angles, so when the exchange starts, he's already in a better position. Because now, you're reacting to him. Usyk doesn't rely on a tight defense. He relies on positioning. Instead of blocking, he's already gone. Instead of slipping late, he stepped off early. His defense happens before the punch lands. That's anticipation. That's control. This is where it becomes clear. When opponents try to pressure him, they don't find him where they expect. They follow, they chase, they reset. And while they're doing that, Usyk is working, not forcing exchanges, but guiding them. Against Anthony Joshua, we see this clearly. Joshua's size, power, presence. But Usyk doesn't fight him directly, he moves him. He changes angles, breaks rhythm, forces resets, and over time, the reactions slow down. Joshua starts hesitating, and once hesitation appears, control is already lost.
Tremendous boxing by Usyk, the movement non-stop, 12 rounds.
Usyk doesn't fight control with force. He controls them with position, timing, tempo. He doesn't overwhelm opponents. He disorients them.
The thing about Usyk, it's not a style you can necessarily prepare for or spar against. A guy who comes in and will sidestep, will come at you from such awkward angles.
At first, it feels different from someone like Salvador Sanchez. Sanchez is subtle, gradual, quiet. Usyk feels active, constant, almost chaotic, but the principle is the same. Both fighters control reactions. They just express it differently. One of the first things that shapes everything is his stance. Usyk fights as a southpaw, and that already changes the geometry of the fight. The lead feet are constantly competing for position. The angles shift, the openings change, and Usyk understands that space better than most.
Jab as Usyk bounces in, out, side to side. His fellow countryman Vasily Lomachenko would be proud of the angles he's taken here tonight. Of course. Gets a straight left right down the pipe again.
What stands out even more is that he doesn't just react to punches. He moves before they're fully thrown. Small shift, slight head movement, subtle steps off the line. He's already slipping before the punch arrives. That's not reflex, that's anticipation. And a big part of how he creates those reactions is through feints. Constant, subtle feints to the head, to the body, with the hands, with the shoulders, even with the feet. He's always asking a question, and every reaction gives him an answer.
He's killing AJ with the feint game, guys. AJ is not used to this feint game from a southpaw.
And then there's the movement he's known for. That constant circle, always moving to his left, lead hand extended, controlling distance, controlling vision. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel forced, but it never stops. And because of that, his opponents are always adjusting, always reacting.